More scandals you can shake a stick at. This first one is about hidden contracts in the battery
And the
plant.
member across the way says, come to Windsor. I would love to come to Windsor. I will come and door knock vigorously in Windsor in the next election, Mr. Speaker. We will be there. And when we door knock in Windsor, we will say to workers, you have the right to a member of Parliament who wants to show you his work. You deserve a member of Parliament who's not going to hide his work. You deserve a member of Parliament who's not going to go to committee to filibuster. Who's going to go and fight to cover up the work he's doing. You deserve a member of Parliament who's going to come and say, see what I did, see what I accomplished. Not someone who's going to say, we don't want to show you their work. So, Mr. Speaker, I challenge the members across the way. If they care about workers, if they actually care about Canadian workers, then let Canadian workers see their work, release the contracts.
Well, first we have the Bloc member going into this former board member who has since resigned due to the scandals. Remember, these revelations have all come forward because of media. This hasn't been, this is kind of buried, apparently, by the Liberal government. This is the reports that I'm reading. We'll see the truth roll out, but it's not much in the media. Here's the deny by the Bloc.
As a result of that, we found no wrongdoing and no misconduct, and we received that report about, I think, in April or May at that time.
Well, you think that was lots? Wait till you see this part about the disclosure. And then we got MP Perkins, which will blow your socks off. This money being thrown out to, insiders. Check it out.
All the declarations of conflict had been made already for these companies. And so we got an opinion.
Nouvelles compagnies qui ont reçu des nouveaux...
New companies that received new funding with the COVID fund. So these companies had already been vetted, analyzed for a specific project, and now extra funding is being awarded?
Correct, because the need was extraordinary. The borders were closed, et cetera, and so these companies, most of them are pre-revenue, and they really needed to continue to operate. Otherwise, we would have lost that amazing innovation and commercialization opportunities that we're seeing. So.
This to me is the most shocking part. It's unbelievable. It's like, why would you even suspect anything of wrongdoing?
Just for 5 minutes.
I'm above that.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the Scheer Centre, since you became the Green Slush Fund's chair, has received $11.2 million in taxpayer money from other Liberal government departments. My understanding from looking at what you said is it incubates green technology companies and has some companies of its own. The companies that it incubates, do you have a financial interest in any of them?
No, zero. I don't have any financial interest in the Psst Centre. I don't have any financial interest in any of the companies that work with the Psst Centre.
Do any of the STDC Green Slush Fund directors have a financial interest in any of those companies?
I don't think so. I can check that though for you, but I do
I'd
not
appreciate
believe
that.
so.
If you could check and just send it in writing, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, I will.
So you obviously have read the act for the Liberal Green Slush Fund of Parliament, the SDTC Act.
Yes.
And you know what Section 16.2 states?
Not off the top of my head.
No member should profit or gain any income from the foundation or its activities. Also, as a public office holder during your time, you were subject to the Canadian Conflict of Interests Act for public office holders. Have you read that act?
Yes.
It says that no public office holder shall exercise their duty to further their private interests or those of their family and friends. When you and fellow directors Andre Lise-Matteau, Stephen Kakucha, and Guy Ouimet voted $3.7 million of COVID relief for companies that you have financial interest in, is that not furthering your private interests?
Well, in the case of the Enerstore project, this is a project, right? And the way these things work is that you set up a limited partnership. And so this limited
Look,
partnership.
I don't need to, I don't, look, I didn't ask, look, with respect, I have limited time. I have limited time. And it's easier if you actually answer my question. I don't need an explanation of the corporate structure of Enerstor. It was a simple question. When you voted the money for Enerstor and Hydrostor, which you have financial interest in, and the other directors,
financial interest in
the other directors and their interest in their companies, is that not furthering your personal interest? That's all I want an answer to, yes or no.
It certainly is not advancing my personal interest, no.
When you own shares in a company and you're the major shareholder of Enerstor, CEO, and when it receives money from the government, that does not benefit your ownership?
In the case of the money that came to the $217,000 that came to Enerstor, it went into a limited partnership. That money was put into the assets of that Godrich.
You are the major shareholder.
Energy storage.
Of which you are the major shareholder. When the board voted to give $10.7 million in grants to companies your fellow director, Stephen Kakucha, had a financial interest in, was that not personal gain for him? $10.7 million in companies he is an investor in?
These companies invest in projects, and these projects are all high-risk, innovative projects that really...
My question, he has a financial interest in those companies, and you voted $10.7 million for them. I'll go on to the next one. When you voted $3.8 million in grants for your fellow director, Guy Ouimet, was that not furthering his personal interests? He had a financial interest in a company that you gave grants to.
These board members invest in the future of our country. We invest in the future.
Yes or no? When you voted $42.5 million in grants to 7 companies that your fellow director, André-Lise Matteau, owns in, was that not furthering her personal interests?
These investments are made to further the opportunities in the Canadian clean tech industry.
Mr. Perkins, if you can please let the witness at least just give a little room for an answer, that would be appreciated.
Madame
Verschoren, the floor is yours.
So the Canadian clean tech industry is extraordinarily important for the future of our country. We have I want to remind the members that 12 of the top 100 global companies are Canadian companies. 10 of them were supported by SCTC. And
companies, thank you.
Madame Verschoren, I'll let you finish your thought. Mr. Perkins, you're out of time on this. Madame Verschoren.
Please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and have a great day. We got more to follow.